we're broadcasting, as you can see, from the main stage floor. We'll be bringing you lots of engaging live animals, GPS sprayers, superintendents hosting major championships, all sponsored for the 5th straight year by LebanonTurf, and we're very pleased to have them back for the 5th year as our sponsor. Welcome to the show. Why don't we get started? This is your 5th year doing this.
Yeah.
What has it meant to LebanonTurf to have GCSAA TV involved like this, being involved in this particular activity?
You know, over the years, I remember when we first started this 5 years ago, we were in a small little stage in Orlando. It was probably a third of where we are now, and it was the idea when GCSAA brought it to us it was an idea, it was a concept. It was trying to find a way to present education to superintendents who could not come to the show.
That's right.
And so we were really intrigued by that and wanted to be a part of that. So we signed on early, and we've continued that for the past 5 years. And I mean, you walk into the show this year here in San Antonio and you see what this has grown to become. And we really couldn't be more excited or happy to be able to bring these types of activities, not only for our support for the industry, but for each individual superintendent who can't always make it here.
And that's exactly right, and that's the real value, because it is a burden for some guys to make it here. They've had difficult times justifying the expenses to come, but I don't think anybody that comes argues with the value. And I guess one of the things I would always say that I remember about my time working with LebanonTurf is value is a big part of your operation. Not the most expensive, not the highest profile, but very effective products that continue to service the industry. How has the year been for LebanonTurf this year?
You know, LebanonTurf's been having a good early part of the year. Obviously, there's still snow in a lot of the United States. There's a lot of ice melt going on out there. But we, like many other manufacturers, have an early order program, and that usually is used as a litmus test to see how the year's going to go. And this year we had an incredible beginning to it. The early order was really off the charts, which for us is really an indicator for how the season's going to be throughout. So everything that's happened up to so far, all the bookings, is really an indication of how strong we think that the golf industry is actually increasing themselves.
And I gotta believe that's on the heels of a very strong 2017, where you were involved at the US Open up in Erin Hills, Wisconsin. So obviously 17 was a good year. You got to believe that's the momentum you're carrying into 18. So we've got momentum here and booth 6069. So let's talk about what's going on at the booth this year, Chris.
Well, you know, it's every year we try to find new ways to bring people into the booth that they will entertainment. But for years we've had certain staples which we continue to do.
Card tricks?
No, this year we did not have the magician, but we do have the wheel. Okay. Everyone likes to come by and spin the wheel. You can probably even hear it start clicking now as we sit here. But what we do, we have little giveaways for people that don't want to have a lot of burdensome things to take back. We've got, we usually do a commemorative shot glass. We've got a convention center, what we call a care kit, complete with hand sanitizer, some rock candy in there. It kind of keeps it going. So anyone who wants to come by and just spin the wheel, get a little something, stop by the booth, that's always been a big hit with us.
Well, I got to tell you, with the flu going around, hand sanitizers right at the top of my list. I am very pleased to see the hand sanitizers all over this place, because we know that's how a lot of it's going to get passed from place to place.
It certainly is.
Yeah, so I see that there's Dog of the Year voting, there's Apple Watch giveaways, Canine for Warriors, Flyaway Geese dog giveaways. Do you want to expound on any of those?
Yeah, absolutely. Every year we try to give away something like techie. I'm kind of a tech geek myself.
Not the shot glass.
No,
the shot glass doesn't character.
Shot glass is pretty standard, kind of easy to go with on this one. In the years past, we've given away iPads, we've given away iPad minis, so this year we decided it would be kind of up our game a little bit, so we're going to give away 2 Apple Watches, 1 for each day.
Okay.
So all you got to do is come by booth 6069, sign up for it, and give a chance to win one of those new Series 3 GPS watches.
I'd have to say that I see superintendents wearing Apple Watches, and typically my experience has been those are the most innovative superintendents I meet. They're early adopters, they're willing to try things and experiment with things. And I haven't gotten one myself. I've been playing around. I think you might have one playing on right there.
I do.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
So it's really good that when all of our partners promote innovation. And I think that's one of the big things you see at the show that you don't see if you don't come, and you don't see sometimes locally, the innovation that happens. This is the big launch for a lot of things coming for the year. So what are you moving towards for the coming year? What are you launching this coming year?
Well, before we get to what we're launching, I'd like to go back and talk a little bit about what else we got going in the booth.
Let's go.
We certainly have, one thing that's become a staple for us is dogs. LebanonTurf's become known more and more about dogs because we partner with the GCSAA when it comes down to doing the dog calendar. And the dog calendar is obviously sent to all of the superintendents via Golf Course Management Magazine, but we take it a step further from that. And so we use the golf show here as a way to vote for what we've been calling the Dog of the Year. Now last year, if you see on screen, we've got, was Drake. He was a 2017 Dog of the Year. He was actually Mr. October last year.
He's looking a little long in the tooth there, old Drake.
He was, and actually he's from your area up there, Frank. His superintendent owner is Justin Bueller from the golf club at Middle Bay in Oceanside, New York.
Oh, no kidding. I know Middle Bay. How about that?
So with the Dog of the Year, Drake was last year. He did a fantastic job for us.
Oh, it's a burden being the dog? He's got an appearance fee?
There's a lot of responsibility going with that one.
That's so great.
This year we've got a whole new slate of characters, a whole new slate of dogs that we've got lined up that everyone can stop by the booth and vote for their favorite. Now there's a lot at stake for this other than just the title. Now the winning dog does get a plaque that says, I was a Dog of the Year for this year. We also give the dog and the dog's owner $500. But what we also do is that in addition to that, for whatever local GCSAA chapter that the owner belongs to, LebanonTurf makes a donation of $3,000 to the chapter. Wow. So this has really spurned a lot of activity with the chapters and trying to get their members out to come visit our booth, to make the vote, because there's more than just having a title at stake. There's some cold hard cash that helps them out in the general fund.
And let me say further, you've been around this business long enough, and I've been on Twitter now for several years. Dogs are an integral part of many operations,
Absolutely.
Not simply to chase geese,
No.
but they're morale boosters, they're things people rally around, and when a superintendent loses their dog, it's like they've lost a child, something very dramatic, and I think both the sort of value that they place socially, technically in chasing geese, but really the heartfelt emotions that everybody on the crew has for these things. It's so great that you honor them. Boy, that $3,000 donation is really
we're just always
really
trying to find a way to help the industry out, and this really helps their chapter do more activities, get the superintendents involved.
All right, so what else? Am I missing anything else at the booth?
Well, absolutely, we've always, 2018 is actually the Chinese Year of the Dog. So we've actually stepped up our game. We've got a few more dog activities that are happening. Started last year, actually I believe it was 2 years ago, that LebanonTurf's been a proud supporter of K9s for Warriors. It's a wonderful organization that's dedicated to providing veterans, servicemen, servicewomen that's been suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, from brain injuries, or other medical conditions that they had received while serving their country. They provide them with a dog to help them throughout that process and getting better with themselves. So this year again, we've partnered with the GCSAA. There will be a check presentation for $2,000 over in the booth. Rhett's going to stop by. We do this every year, one of those big checks, as a way to help honor and help the servicemen that do so much for us.
Yeah.
And it means a lot for me because my son's actually in the military. So God forbid something would ever happen, having this type of program and being a supporter of this, it really is one of the best things that I think that we do as a company.
I couldn't say that more. I firmly agree. Thank your son for his service, the people that we serve with these dogs, the challenges that war brings to society, any contribution we can make to help these people who have sort of given that selfless act to honor and protect us all.
Absolutely.
It is so great that you have stepped up this way. Not just, to honor the dogs as parts of the superintendent's ranks, but also the extra mile to really support the Warriors. And again, thank your son for his service. So,
absolutely.
Are there going to be dogs? Are we going to have dogs? Because we got a lot of grass here.
Absolutely, and actually there will be, we have a K9 for Warriors. We'll have a dog in our booth. They're actually there when they receive the check. So we do as much as what we can to bring them into there. So we encourage everybody to stop by booth 6069, pet the dog, understand what the organization's about, and certainly support it.
So, are we ready for launching now?
We have one more dog issue.
One more.
One more
this
dog.
Is so great.
Again,
it's so great. I
you're
love
the
these
dog,
dogs.
and we certainly
I
can't
got two
do
dogs at home, so it's not
this
news to
year.
me.
What we've done is that we have actually partnered between GCSAA, ourselves, with a company called Flyaway Geese. They're actually right behind us. You were actually talking about geese working on the golf course, and that's what this is. This is a company that specializes in producing trained border collies for superintendents to be able to deal with coots, geese on the golf course. So what we've done this year, we've worked with them, and we are going to be giving away 2 fully trained border collies to superintendents that are here at the show this year.
I'll take that over to watch.
We're going to be giving away 1 each day at the end of the day.
About that.
And this is a whole process. With not only does it for people that sign up that ultimately win, this is a process in getting the dog to them, making sure it's properly trained, and it's fantastic. I think I've got some time set aside tomorrow to really dive more into this.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to it. Let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
That doesn't sound cheap. That's
No.
another big step up by Lebanon Turf.
Those are, yeah, no, those dogs are increasingly expensive.
And the whole process of getting them there and getting them working is not cheap.
Yeah, the training of it, Rebecca at Flyaway Geese does a fantastic job with them. And in fact, she's in booth 1020, which is where the superintendents would need to go in order to register each day to win these. She's got 2 border collies on there. She's got demonstrations each day. Actually, will be behind us here. They've got some ducks, and you can actually watch the dogs herd. So, but this was the way that LebanonTurf wanted to be able to help out superintendents who couldn't necessarily afford to go get this type of service for their course. So again, we're looking to help out the superintendent, and we felt that, thankfully, between us, a partnership with GCSAA and Flyaway Geese to make this happen, because as I said, they are not cheap dogs, but they're extraordinarily well trained and effective for controlling those type of animals. So we're excited about this.
The year of the dog. You guys are going all dog all the
Absolutely.
time. But it's time for the launch. I've been wanting to launch products with you all morning.
I
Sorry
understand.
for the rush.
No, not at all. You know what? The GIS is always the best place to launch new
Right.
stuff. Superintendents come here looking to see what's new, how can I do my job better, more effectively, what can I do to save money?
Right.
This year, what we're really excited about is that we've got a program that's called the True Performance Turfgrass Program. What it is a complimentary program that uses the Country Club MD granulars, along in addition with the Emerald Isle foliar liquids. What we did a couple years ago was we started doing season-long program research at both Purdue University and University of Arkansas. We gave them different variations of the liquid Emerald Isle and the granulars and say, okay, here's 7 to 10 different programs. Go out there and tell me which ones do the best. Now we induce stress on them. We make sure they have the heat necessary. So not only were we trying to find the best programs that responded in not only providing the nutrients,
Right.
but one just more effectively manages the stress.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what's going to be the upturn and downturn.
Yeah.
So what we've done, we took the results and we've laid the foundation, the framework of the True Performance Program using that. So it's not marketing materials.
No.
This is hardcore independent university research, which is what we were
Well,
wanting
you've
to
got
do.
2 good lines of products.
Exactly.
Why not figure out a way for them to complement each other? And as we wrap up this segment, which went quicker than we thought it was going
Absolutely.
to, what is the last thing you want to talk about launching?
The last thing is that we're giving away sample bags of Country Club MD. And that's because we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to try the product. So we've made up 15-pound sample bags. All you need to do is come by booth 6069, sign up for it. We will send it to you free of charge. It's enough to do about 5,000 square feet. You can do it for nursery green, you can do it for putting green, or a lot of superintendents have test screens to try those on. And then you can try it to see how the product works. Because until you try it on your golf course, you don't know how it's going to work.
Well, and also, if this kind of innovation sometimes requires superintendents to get comfortable with it.
Absolutely.
So that's a smart move, getting them a package that they can ship to them. And also, even if they're not here, going back to why you're here, even if people aren't here, they can contact you to get a sample bag.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of ways to do that with your local Lebanon Turf person.
Certainly there
So
is.
as we wrap up for the time, let me thank you one more time. This is our second time sitting on the stage
Absolutely.
together. You're going to take the stage in my seat a little bit over the course of the day. We'll just thank Lebanon Turf in general, and I'll thank you personally for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Frank.
And as we wrap up this morning, I just want to, let me get to my segment closer here. Sorry, it's the first one of the day. I'm getting used to it. That concludes this segment of GCSAA TV Live, presented in partnership with our pals at Lebanon Turf. Thank you for your time, Christopher. And just a reminder, you'll be back to talk about the geese, the canine warrior, the whole dog thing.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see what happens during today, and then we'll sit down tomorrow this time.
Excellent.
And do
Very
what we
exciting celebration of the year of the dog, Christopher. Appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
We'll be back in a minute. Thank you for joining us on GCSAA TV Live.